Thank you for joining me for another one of my videos. My name is Cliff. I've been doing this series called 99 Problems, but my God ain't one. This video I wasn't even going to put in that list of videos, but I have recently decided to do that. Okay. I'm also going to give it one of its strongest numbers, as the enemy likes to use numbers as his way of stating his position of dominance in the world, his mark, so to speak. He marks his things. He signs his things that belong to him, and even now he's making everything more more visible for us to see. He's coming out in plain sight. People don't know that they're following and doing his things or honoring him by the things that they do. People that make skulls on with their bodies, with their tattoos and stuff like that, or throws up his symbols to represent him. A lot of people don't know that they're doing this for him, the beast, the enemy, Satan. But these are the things that are happening and going on today. The piece of scripture that I'm going to read from is trying to pinpoint who the beast will be. Who is the beast of perdition? The one that will elevate himself in a spot that he rules the world. Okay, so I'm going to read from Revelation 17. Okay, but first I want you to pay recognition to the times that we're at and how some of the spiritual words are said here are not necessarily completely physically literal. They're literal, but not physically literal, because let me explain. Here I'm going to read a couple passages. Standing at a distance for fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour her judgment has come. In 1 hour. Okay, and here it says, that was from chapter 18. Here in chapter 18 later on, it says, they threw dust on their heads and cried out weeping and wailing and saying, Alas, alas, the great city, in which all who had ships on the sea became rich by her wealth. For in 1 hour she is made desolate. So two references to 1 hour in the area or the city has become wiped out. But this is not, in my understanding of what the Lord has just put in my heart, this doesn't mean just a literal 1 hour of time like what you see in a day. I'm going to show you through this piece of scripture in chapter 17. And it says in chapter 17, 1 hour reference as well. I'm going to read it for you just now. Okay, let's start from near the beginning. The angel speaking to the writer John here. Come, I will show you the judgment of the great harlot who sits on many waters, with whom the kings of the earth committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth were made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast, which was full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet, and adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls, having in her hand a golden cup full of abominations and the filthiness of her fornication. And on her forehead a name was written: Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and of the abominations of the earth. I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I marveled with great amazement. But the angel said to me, Why do you marvel? I will tell you the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carries her, which has 7 heads and the 10 horns. The beast that you saw was, and is not, and will ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go to perdition. And those who dwell on the earth will marvel, whose names are not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they see the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. Here is the mind which has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sits. There are also 7 kings. 5 have fallen, 1 is, and the other has not yet come. And when he comes, he must continue a short time. The beast that was and is not is himself also the 8th, and is of the 7. Let's back up. There are also 7 kings. Moving forward. The beast that was and is not is himself also the 8th, and is of the 7. So he's the 8th, but he's one of the 7. So he's there twice, or an extended time, and is going to perdition. The 10 horns which you saw are 10 kings who have received no kingdom as yet, but they receive authority for 1 hour as kings with the beast. These are of one mind. They think in the same pattern. And they will give their power and authority to the beast. Everything over to the beast. These will make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb will overcome them. For he is the Lord of lords and King of kings, and those who are with him are called, chosen, and faithful. Then he said to me, The waters which you saw, where the harlot sits, are peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. Waters, where the harlot sits, waters. Spirit, dead, this is the spirit of the dead. These are people that have passed on and reside in the waters and waiting for judgment. And the 10 horns which you saw on the beast, these will hate the harlot, make her desolate and naked, eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Destroy her, will destroy the harlot. For God has put it into their hearts to fulfill his purpose. Who can annul it? as it says in Isaiah 14. For God has said it to be so. So these are not the saints that are fighting here, or who burned the harlot. These are not the saints. The saints don't do this. The Lord does it through his appointed people, the ones that have a deceived heart that will kill the harlot, destroy the harlot, and continue to listen. For God has put it into their hearts to fulfill his purpose, to be of one mind. They are of one mind also. They hate the harlot. And, watch this, and to give their kingdom to the beast. So they give their kingdom back over to the beast anyways. The harlot is with the beast. And they killed the harlot, but they give power back over to the beast until the words of God are fulfilled. And the woman whom you saw is the great city which reigns over the kings of the earth. Isaiah 14. This is the only chapter where Lucifer's name is actually mentioned. I'm going to start from verse 20. You will not be joined with them in burial. Okay, again. Lucifer will not be joined with them in burial, because you have destroyed your land and slain your people. The brood of evildoers shall never be named. Prepare slaughter for his children, because of the iniquity of their fathers. Down to 24. The Lord of hosts has sworn, saying, surely, as I have thought, so it shall come to pass, and as I have purposed, so it shall stand, that I will break the Assyrian in my land, and on my mountains tread him under foot. Then his yoke shall be removed from them. Then Lucifer's yoke shall be removed from them, and his burden removed from their shoulders, and Satan's burden removed from their shoulders. This is the purpose that is purposed against the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out over all the nations. For the Lord of hosts has purposed, and who will annul it? His hand is stretched out, and who will turn it back? This is the burden which came in the year that King Ahaz died. Do not rejoice, all you of Philistia, because the rod that struck you is broken. For out of the serpent's roots will come forth a viper. For out of Satan's roots will come forth a viper, and its offspring will be a fiery flying serpent. Okay, what I'm trying to show here with Revelation 17, from verses 10 to 13, it's so loaded, it's unbelievable. Okay, it's talking about 7 kings. In this day and age, we really don't have kings. We have prime ministers and presidents that really control our world or orchestrate things that go on in our world.